Hi, Shelley here. I'm creating in my art journal today, and I'll be using some modeling paste for background texture, collaging some colorful trees with tissue paper, and then topping them off with some acrylic inks. I hope you'll enjoy this video and that it'll inspire you to break out your art supplies, go through your stash, and get creating. So let's get started. The next page in my journal is this one, but I want my orientation going this way. So I'm just going to start off by taking a little modeling paste. I use this Alex Fast Dry acrylic latex caulk plus silicone. If you do a thin coat, it dries in 20 minutes. It's supposed to be good for 50 years, interior and exterior. So I've been using it for years. I learned this from Lindsay the Frugal Crafter, and my goodness, it has just been awesome these last many years. Oh, my head down there. And I just want to put a little bit. I don't want to make it too thick today. Just want a little something in my background. I already have a little something with my map, which is fantastic. But I do love to scrape on some modeling paste now and then. Now I've got this pretty thin on here, so it will probably, and I might use my heat tool a little bit as well. So it will probably be dry within a half an hour. And then we can paint. I'm going to put out a little bit of dark gray, medium gray, light gray, and that one's needs to be cleaned out, and a little bit of navy. And I'm going to start with my dark gray and just put it in a few spots here and there. It's a little darker than I want, so I'm going to come in with a little bit of white. All right, I like that. I'm going to go with that. We'll let this dry, and then we can start with our tissue paper. Okay, as this is dried, I feel like too dark for me, so I'm going to go ahead and put some more of my white out here and brush on some more of the white. Much better. That's why I always like to keep my paints in a Ziploc bag until I'm done with my project, because I never know when I'm going to want to come back and change things. All right, now we'll dry this. Here's the colors of tissue paper that I've got on hand. I've got 3 different colors of red. These two are very close, but a little bit different. I've got 3 different yellows. Again, 2 of them are very close. And then I've got some orange. And then for my greens, I've got 3 different colors of greens that I've collected over the years. So that's what I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be using Mod Podge today. My idea is just to have some rough trees, and I'm not sure where I want all of them, but I'm going to go ahead and use my Bic Intensity Ultrafine Point Permanent Marker to make a few trunks. I'm sure I will want more than this, but this will get me started. We're supposed to have a big storm starting any minute, so I apologize if it gets noisy. But what I want to do with my greens is make these the evergreens and have the yellows and reds be my fall trees. Well, that makes sense. I think it does. So I'm just going to quickly tear a few Okay, I think that'll get us started. Oh. Not thinking about it too much, just trying to alternate between my colors and keep working my way down. I'm okay if my sky throws, if it's not completely solid and my sky is showing through, that's okay, because in real life that's what happens, right? When you look out at or at least mine, maybe the ones you see are completely full and you can't see through them, but mine, I certainly can. Okay, I think that is very fun. Hopefully this storm we will not have hail. We had a really big hailstorm here about a week ago. I've never seen or heard hail like that before. I cannot believe we didn't have any big damage. It was just amazing. I like the look of having some of them all the way across, but not all of them. But I think it would be cool no matter how you did it. All one color would be cool too, but I like the tricolor the best. Of course, you could do this and then add paint afterwards. I don't know if I'm going to do that with this page or not. All right, I'm going to move my green back here. Now these I'm not going to do in strips. I'm going to do more in chunks, I think. after my last video where I did the flowers, when I did this kind of thing and I did the flowers, I had so much fun with that, and I thought, man, I wish I had some more colors. So I went on to Amazon, and they were not expensive, so I thought I'm going to get a couple more colors. So I got this kind of maroonish red, I got the dark green, I got some gold, and some navy. So I was kind of surprised at how much is out there now. I was surprised, but not really surprised, because you can just about find whatever you want to do. You can find something to someplace on Amazon or someplace that's got it these days. So I'm sure over time I will add more as I see it, or decide I need different colors. But I really enjoy working with tissue paper. I wonder, this point's bugging me. Oh, I better leave it alone. Besides, I got another tree to go here, so maybe they will touch here. Fix it that way. Or maybe I will learn to love it like it is. Another little green one here. Even shorter than this guy. Real little guy here. That spot was just bothering me. I kind of want one more over here. I think I'm just gonna go for it. It's really hard to know when to stop on this kind of thing, because you just, the longer I stand and stare at it, I see more holes or things that I think maybe I need to change. But I need to stop because I love it the way it is, and I need to stop. So I'm going to stop there. I'm almost 100% positive I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop here and clean up so I can't add any more. My canvas is dry. I think it looks good so far. And now I just need to put something down here on the floor of the forest. And so I'm just going to, just because I want a little something in the background, I'm going to take a little bit of my dark green. A little bit of my dark gray. And this is a stencil, a grass stencil from one of my old canvases that I've just cut down to a smaller size. And I'm just going to go in with that, with a little bit of the dark green. Stick it in the dark gray a little bit. And then just tap it on. Now I'll put a little bit of my lighter green, my kind of my spring green, I think it is a lime green. I want it to be rough, I don't want it to be perfect. So as oftentimes happens as I'm creating and I think I've got a clear vision on how I'm going to go and what I'm going to do, it kind of takes off and goes a different direction or the same direction but more, and that's what's happened this time. So as I'm thinking about it and walking the dogs yesterday outside, and I see my little viola flowers, my little Johnny jump ups out front, that even though it's fall, and for us now here in Iowa, in our yard, most of our trees are, all the leaves have come off, but there's still a few hanging on. And I thought, you know, it would be kind of fun to put some little violas down here at the bottom. I have different purple tissue paper, so why not? So I'm not going to try and make a viola. I'm just cutting up a bunch of little pieces, and I'm going to make, or tearing off some little pieces, and I'm just going to make some rough viola flowers down here at the base. For me, I'm not a real emotional art journal person. I don't write a lot about my feelings. I go to the Lord in prayer with that kind of thing daily, but I'm not a real work it out in my art in the same way as a lot of people use art journaling for. I think it's great if that's what you do. For me, mine is just the creative process I enjoy. But also just learning and growing and learning new things about how to use things and techniques, and I enjoy exploring that and doing that in my art. Anyway, so that's why I don't do a lot of writing. And I think it's fun to share. I love the gals on YouTube that I watch that they share different techniques. I love to see not only the different techniques, but the spin that each person puts on them. So that's why I started recording mine, because I thought maybe I would do something that would inspire somebody else. I'm not trying to make millions of dollars on YouTube or anything like that. I just Anyways, I want to coat my entire page with my Mod Podge because I want to make sure that all my background texture is the same and my page is protected, because I think I want to come in with, I was wondering what would happen if I used acrylic inks. So I am going to be very careful down here where my flowers are wet. Tap it on there. All right, then I'll go in. Then I'll come in with my 2 baby wipes and just gently kiss all over. Make sure my texture is all the same and my Mod Podge is evenly coated. Flip it around here. Be a little more gentle as I come down. It dries more evenly as well when I do this. You know, I feel like it's not hugely important, but I kind of feel like I should have a Johnny right down here as well, because they are shade and they like the cooler weather. I do see them under my evergreens out front occasionally, so we'll just stick that guy under there. Okay, now we'll dry and then we can start in with the acrylic inks. Now, I like having that layer of Mod Podge all over because the texture is all the same, but it also gives me that nice protective coating so that if this goes poorly and I don't like it, I can just wipe it off with my baby wipe while it's wet and everything will be okay. Because I like it as it is right now. I think it's great and I could live with it like this, but I think it might be even cooler with some acrylic ink. So that's what I want to try. I'm just going to use the red and the orange on the colored trees. And I don't know, I'm thinking just a couple of drops per tree of each color maybe. And then maybe spritzing with water. And then either blowing with a I got this thing cheap off of Amazon. I saw somebody else use it and I thought, hey, I need one of those. It's not really that great. Either that or I'm not using it properly. Maybe with other kinds of inks it would be better. I don't know. But I'm not in love with it. I keep trying it again, hoping something's going to happen and I'm going to become in love with it. But that day is not today. Okay, how about that? And then we'll just wipe up the places where we don't want it. I bet with a straw was it even better? Yes. All right, now we need to dry this. Can I dry it with my heat tool? Maybe as long as I don't get too close, I'll probably move it around some. I'm wondering, I kind of lost all my focus on my trees and I didn't really pay any attention to my tree trunks, and I wanted to make them just a little bit more pronounced. And I'll kind of do the same thing with my two colors of green. Try that. I think I'd also like some down here, but this is the part of my journal that kind of curls up here, so it's going to be harder. So maybe the trick is going to be moving it around with a brush instead of trying to blow it and letting it go wherever it wants to. Kind of fill in that green a little bit. I'm not going to do the purple. I think the purple looks great by itself. Yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, but I need a little more. All right, I think I'll let this dry the rest of the way naturally, and then we can see if we want to do anything else. Well, that's my page. I'm really tickled at the way it turned out. It was a lot of fun to do. I really enjoy working with tissue paper. I like the effect that you get, and I think that it was really fun coming in with the acrylic inks afterwards and kind of tying it together. And yeah, I hope you'll try something like this, and I hope you'll join me in my next video. Bye for now.